What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Chromecast. My name's Joe, joined here today by Gabriel.
Hello. He got real
and
loud.
Robbie.
He did. My name's Robbie.
And Robbie.
He's forcing it. He's forcing us into doing this podcast this morning. Everything just feels discombobulated, and we just want to play golf.
He's making us.
What?
Yeah,
Not really.
that's what I do.
Not really. We got so much to talk about.
We do.
We have like 2 shows worth of stuff.
Yeah, we had to start.
It's almost like we took off last week.
Yeah. We had to start
It's my
4
fault.
hours early just so we could
Feels
get it
kind of
on.
like that. Yeah. I mean, ish. I don't know. Not really.
I had a stomach bug of all stomach bugs last week. It was not fun, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So it kind of threw a wrench in things, and then we were like, well, maybe we'll go do it Monday, and then he wasn't feeling better until Tuesday. And it's like, what are we going to podcast to Tuesday and then turn around podcast Thursday?
Yeah, and it's like if we did the Tuesday episode, it was going to be about I.O., and this one we're going to talk about I.O. today and leaks today. So
yeah,
just do it now, you know?
Yeah. There's no reason. Sometimes it just, doesn't work out.
Yeah. Who,
That's
me?
the way it is.
Me? All right.
Okay. What are you doing? Nothing?
Me? Nothing.
Who? I love that he says nothing.
Nothing?
Who? Me?
Who? Me?
Just hanging around.
Just hanging around.
If you haven't seen
I
that
just been
on
hanging
Google that.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, just check it out. Beetlejuice
Hanging around.
around.
This shit-
There will literally be, I don't know.
There's
at
a
least
green screen
1,000
version, so you can actually make your own. It's awesome.
Yeah. That's what I want. I want Andrew to edit in that.
I want him in here.
He can.
The green screen.
I love that he says, "What are you doing?" And he
Nothing.
goes, Nothing.
Who, me?
Who, me? And especially if you watch the original video, it's him, the dude holding the camera, talking to him in an apartment. There's no one else in there.
Nothing.
Of course it's
Who?
you.
Me?
None.
Oh man, I forgot to turn on the light behind you. Can you reach around there and turn on that blue light? I just.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. You
call
got
it
it.
now.
You got it. Don't knock
He's
your.
gonna get a cramp, folks.
we
Everybody
have
watch.
we have these 2 mics for those watching on YouTube. We have
gotta be real careful
we
here.
have these 2 pretty heavy mics. Like these Shure mics
They're
are not
dense.
light.
Dense.
And we have them clamped on this small coffee table. So if the guys barely move their mics, it might knock over coffee. It might
Let's put it this way: I probably have a better chance of not spilling my coffee
holding
on the
it right
arm of
there.
this chair.
That's
True.
where you should leave it.
That looks precarious. Trust me,
It's
nowhere
not.
near as precarious
It's not as
that.
bad as that.
And if you're
this
wondering-
little table's hanging on by a thread over
And if
here.
you're wondering what we're talking about, it might be time to check out the YouTube channel.
Yes.
For the Chromecast, where you can see what's
It's just
going on.
fun to see like reaction and emotion and
Yeah.
it's I think I love audio podcasts for driving and for like going on runs and stuff. Those it's great. What?
But you know what you can do? If you have YouTube Premium,
You can-
just
you can listen
play the
while you're-
podcast. You can still
Yeah.
audio. It's still audio.
No, I was just thinking, like, I prefer to watch them while I'm driving. That's just
Oh,
me.
wow.
Just the way you
That's-
said it was like as if watching them is an option.
Yeah, that is unsafe,
is.
my
I guess
friend.
technically it is.
Suppose
And if
it
you've
is.
never watched before, you have not met Paul.
Yeah, I brought Paul in today. He's looking
here.
he's
He's
looking
looking good.
great.
Better.
He had a little trim yesterday.
He
got a little-
needs some more soil in there, but he's at the end of the day he's doing fine.
He's in there hanging on like I've taken all the nutrients from these soils, guys.
Yeah, this soil is done.
This is it. I'm photosynthesis only, so if you don't get me in the sun,
make your own.
Yeah. Hey,
Trouble.
one other quick thing. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the stack of Penoval pens behind Robbie, and it just reminded me. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last podcast. We're doing a giveaway with Penoval. We're giving away 5 USI 2.0 pens. So you should go get entered to win ASAP because that giveaway ends next week. I think the 10th
the day of I/O.
or the 11th.
Andrew's going to crop that
Yeah.
out so nobody knows what you're talking about. There's no pens up there, you idiot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it
in
ends-
spite.
Ends on the 10th, so
Yeah.
it'll end.
So yeah, I/O Day.
Yeah.
So go get entered to win. We'll link that down in the show notes. You can win a USI 2.0 pen that will work on all your stuff.
Who's excited for
all
I.O.
purpose.
Day?
I'm very excited.
Joe and I are going to get I.O. tattoos. Are you coming?
Yeah, we're getting I/O tattoos.
Specifically, I want I/O 2023 in a small pixel fold.
Right on your like the
That'll age well.
Yeah, mhm.
That's why I want it.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go in really dumb.
I'm gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna take out a billboard of just me smiling, saying how excited I am about I/O.
Happy I.O. Day, and if people
Happy
are like,
I/O Day.
They're like, can I get that for 1 or 2 days? No, you got to
90
pay for the month.
90. 98% of the population is like, what is this?
But imagine it'll be the most Googled term for the month though.
Like, yeah.
There was a spike in IO Googling.
Now I think about it, we should probably get a billboard that says like Happy Chrome Unboxed.
Yeah, I mean it'll say chromeunboxed.com on there. It's going to promote Chrome Unboxed. It's just going to be my stupid face up on a billboard.
Yeah, chromeunboxed.com/IO. That'd be great.
You can do one of those digital ones.
Yeah.
We've got a couple digital billboards.
That's true.
The watch fires.
Do it like a three-day situation.
Ooh, there's the one by the mini golf.
We'll shoot the photo here in a minute.
I love that we have a website that is that is global.
We're gonna do some.
And we have all of this digital means of reaching people. And my idea to get the word out
local
about IO is a local billboard.
Or hear me out. A full page in the local newspaper.
News Enterprise. We're coming.
They still printing stuff?
They are.
They don't print it themselves. That building's destroyed. Yeah. They outsource it to someone in.
Hey, but we're getting a new chicken place.
What are we getting now?
I don't know. Some other chicken place.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Where the newspaper was?
Yeah.
It's going to be a hardware store, I think.
No.
And chicken place.
Yeah, I forget the chicken place. It says it on the sign out there.
I need to drive by.
It's
it's like a guy's. It's a guy's name.
It's not Raising Cane's.
Frank's Chicken. It's something like that, but not Frank.
I want Raising Cane's.
So, anywho,
I love their chicken strips are so.
Oh, they're great,
and their sauce.
I've never had it.
Sauce is good.
They sell like 4 things. They sell their chicken strips, fries, coleslaw, and one other side, and that is literally it. And that is okay. It's like if Chick-fil-A only sold their Chick-fil-A sandwich and waffle fries, I would be 100% okay with this.
Oh
yeah. Is Raising Cane's the one from the SNL skit with the car dealership, or is that Church's? Which one is that?
No, that's Raising Cane's.
Is it?
Yeah, I think they did Raising Cane's.
Yeah.
Great.
They're popping up everywhere now.
Because that's is it Michael B. Jordan? Yeah.
I'm surprised we don't have one here yet. But
they ruin stuff. They ruin Church. I like Church's chicken. Some people don't. We ruin Church's chicken. We ruin Bojangles. We can't have nice things here in town.
The problem is people show
up
with that open franchises that don't know what they're doing. Is the problem.
And it's going to change to
like that breakfast place that just opened.
Population is going to support a lot more things. IO. Let's talk IO.
As intriguing as all this is about our local.
We'll do another podcast about local culture of Hardin County. It'll be great.
Yeah,
E-Town and Bucks.
7 people will listen. It'll be great.
We'll be slightly. We'll be slightly famous locally.
Yes, there was somebody else that used to do a podcast about E-Town. Didn't go well.
They don't do it anymore?
No. Oh,
no.
Gosh, no.
Oh, God, no.
No,
if they did, we'd be watching it and laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was great entertainment.
It was quite
fun. We're going to move on.
IO, next week, which is just wild.
Next Wednesday.
This month has absolutely flown by. Last month flew by.
Yeah, April just was
like May now.
Slow down.
It's the 4th. I still don't realize that it's May, and it's May 4th, the day that we're recording this podcast. That's how I'm just.
Well, April was weird.
Jet lagged for.
We had spring break in the middle of it.
That's true.
So, like Gabe and I were both kind of out of pocket for a full week.
Yeah,
like we were in Chicago, and we had a great time. But,
I feel like
it through that, and then you got sick, and then so.
We went somewhere. We went to Ohio. That's what it was.
Yeah, and it just I feel like it was a podcast just recently. I was like, man, IO's going to be here in a month, and now it's next week.
Here it is.
Yeah. So, for those who just don't know, let's talk through what all we're expecting and kind of start there.
Yeah, I mean, IO is every year. It's a developer conference.
Let's say, what is IO?
Yeah. And IO is like input output.
Yeah, it's just a computer term. Yeah,
used to IO was all software. It was all developer focused. Used to, you had a couple keynotes. So you had the big keynote, which they talked about their big front facing stuff. What's new in search? Google Maps. Big new Android updates, and then Google Assistant over the years. Maybe a piece of hardware that somehow went with that stuff, but not always. And then you had an Android keynote, which was usually kind of in the weeds for a keynote, I always thought. Kind of hard to watch, a little boring if you're not a developer. And then they had breakout sessions that people went to, and as those occurred, they would put them on YouTube, and you could you'd schedule your stuff out. COVID obviously upended all that stuff, so then everything went online. And then when they returned last year, they returned to live keynotes with an audience. They always had live keynotes, but I liked the one they did during COVID. If I'm being honest, like they did it on the at the Googleplex, and it was out in the yard, and they just had a little stage, and it was they had some of the employees out kind of as an audience spaced out, but it was this really cool kind of vibe.
And it was like cinematic. Like
is
the
that
shots
the one they
were
did
like
with
super bokeh.
the Quantum Campus with the what's the guy's name?
It
was it's the one of the supporting actors from Ant-Man. Michael Pena.
Yeah, Pena. Google or COVID kind of messed some of that stuff up. So then they went back, to live audience last year. They still did away with the breakout groups. So you had 2 keynotes, and then all the breakout sessions were recorded previously. They're all online, and so everything's there. You can come and take them as you want. I thought maybe they'd go back to live sessions, but it probably makes more sense because the live sessions aren't like interactive. People will go and sit down and watch a thing and then leave. And so it probably leaves more room for other things at I/O, I would imagine, for developers that go. I do feel like it probably makes it less necessary to go as a developer anymore because it's all right there. Like you don't need to go fly out there and go through all the stuff. Other than, getting to hang out with some people, maybe meet some people, rub shoulders with people, like all that kind of stuff, which, I would think a lot of software developers probably that's not their favorite thing in the world, most likely. So I think this works. I think they found out last year this kind of worked, and they stuck with it this year. So it's all online, and then there's live people there for the keynotes. We did get an invite, and, very grateful that we were able to get that invite. But as
we had tea time scheduled that day, and we were like, "Sorry."
Just
kidding.
As we looked at it and kind of sat back and thought about airfare and hotel and all, the cost is pretty immense for us to go to the West Coast.
Yeah, and we're not developers, so it's not that there's not benefit there. As Robbie mentioned, meeting with people, seeing people that we know, and meeting new people in the industry, especially with Google, can be beneficial, but this is a jam-packed developer conference. This is
very busy schedule.
Yeah, it's not CES where it's a week long and you can schedule meetings and go have dinner with people and things. Yeah. It's not that. So we just felt that the opportunity did not outweigh the expense of our time and all of that.
Yeah, and it'd be different if the stuff wasn't available or that you couldn't see it or something. Then we would have figured out something like that. But all that to say, we're grateful that we had the opportunity to go out. But when we really weighed it right now, especially with recession looming and all this stuff, we're thinking about finances and stuff just like everybody else, and so trying to be really good stewards with our money and what we do, and so. We are not going to go out there live. We'll obviously be watching everything live.
Yeah, and reporting on everything that is announced, and just as if we were there.
Yeah, and the cool thing is last year they kind of set a new precedent for I/O where they decided to make it hardware based.
Yeah.
We did a video about it actually. About hardware kind of coming and taking over I/O, and it was what most people were talking about, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if the hardware especially is tied to some of the things that they're wanting to try to do, and then using it, like we haven't even talked about this, and we can talk about it in the midst of all this hardware. We probably are going to see a tease of the Pixel 8. It would only make sense.
Oh yeah,
it's what they did last year.
Sure.
It's funny that we haven't heard anything about a Pixel Watch. I'm pointing to mine. I don't have a Pixel Watch anymore. Sorry.
I didn't wear mine today. Gabe didn't wear his today. We are not Pixel. I like that band you got for the Galaxy, though. That's cool.
I got a black one, too, like it. But it's stretchy.
Yeah.
So I can take it off and throw it in my pocket when I'm playing golf.
Do you do that every morning when you put it on?
I put it on and go, whoosh. Just like, whoosh.
Trish is like, all right. Robbie's going to work.
Whoosh. That's the sound of her cracking her whip.
Yeah.
Go do some dishes. No. I'm not whipped.
I'm not.
Maybe a little.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually we all get whipped a little bit.
Robbie commented about my truck not being parked under the garage.
I did drive by Joe's place of residence today. My daughter wasn't feeling well. My parents live near him. So I was taking her to my parents and drove by and saw Joe's truck in the driveway. And I was like, it's weird. And as I craned my neck and looked, I saw his fiance's vehicle in the carport, and I was like, "Oh, I see what's happening."
Yep.
Well, I thought you
already
had the garage redone. What happened?
It's got a lot of stuff in it right now.
Okay.
I've got my shelves put up. I bought a whole new tool chest. I got all my tools going in there.
None of this changes what's actually happening, because when you get the garage cleaned up, what's going to happen there? What'd you say?
Her vehicle will go in there.
Exactly.
You'll have your carport back though.
Yeah, I'll get the car.
Exactly, but
yeah.
she gets the garage.
Yeah.
Bro,
Exactly.
my wife's car has been in the garage since the day we bought it. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will
For
say, like,
sure.
this is right now in our marriage. This is the first time I've had the nicer vehicle.
Yeah.
Me
Got
and my
the-
wife.
Got the garage.
It doesn't normally happen.
But
we
anyway,
make sure-
sorry.
Um,
Watches. We were talking about
watches. That's what it was.
Watches.
It's very strange that we've heard zero of a Pixel Watch update. The Apple Watch gets updated every year, right? Pretty sure it's a yearly thing. Like they're on
think
Series
so.
8 right
I
now.
think they do a new watch
a refresh
every year.
It seems like it would behoove Google to make a Pixel Watch 2.
Make one. Make a bigger one, please.
Yeah, they need two sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Two sizes.
Sure. I love this size of watch. So that's
It's-
44, I think, whatever the bigger
That
one
one's
is.
a 44.
It just
It's
it
great.
looks better on my wrist.
I like my issue with that watch was the band that it came with, like stuck out from the
yeah.
lugs.
I even like that because I don't like that these come down.
See, I want that it goes down. Like I want it fitting because I have a dainty wrist. So
I'm a thick wrist.
yeah. Anywho, that
Yeah. So
44 is a good size.
Yeah,
though,
I
for
don't
most
know.
people.
We can chat about Pixel Watch stuff. What would be really cool to see in that? There's been zero chatter
Yeah.
about that, which
Right.
is strange. To
It
me.
would be very odd because we were talking about this the other day with them acquiring Fitbit. Robbie and I both feel that Fitbit's probably going to go back to just being a fitness brand.
Whoop. It's gonna be a Whoop
We
kind of
probably won't see Fitbit watches. We're going to see.
My guess is I think Versas and Senses will go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fitness trackers, and we were talking about Google really needs to do. If you all have seen Robert Downey Jr. and he doesn't own it, does he? I think he's just a spokesperson for Aura.
Yeah.
The rings.
So,
yeah.
so he does the Aura Ring commercials, but they just signed a big brand deal with Best Buy. Google needs to take Fitbit that direction because that's
Yeah.
the direction the industry's gone. But they don't need to fall back. They were already behind on the Pixel Watch when it
Yeah,
when it
you
happened,
keep pushing.
and they came out swinging. And I still stand behind what I said. They've done a great job. They need to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it
Well-
wouldn't take much to iterate that device and make it
Not really.
hands
Yeah.
down the best
Like the-
Wear OS watch out there.
The outside parts don't need to change at all. Like maybe update the processor a little
Well,
bit?
because they're saying that
and give us
new,
another size.
whatever the new Tick Watch is, that's getting the new Snapdragon chip that's not out yet, or it's just come out. Like,
I don't even know what are they on now? Are they still calling them 5400 or 5300?
I don't even know what
it's
it
like
is.
W5 Plus or
they
something
changed
like.
it,
Yeah, I don't know. But apparently, this is going to put not on par with the Apple Watch, but this is going to a lot of Wear OS's issues in the past has been clunky software combined with old chips.
Yeah.
You know, chips that just didn't have enough This is going to eliminate
Yeah.
that.
Well, and like with the Pixel Watch, having the Samsung Watch, the Galaxy Watch 5, whatever, it technically does everything that the Pixel Watch did, but I like the way the Pixel Watch did it better.
Right.
Which is
Notifications are, I think,
yeah, and that's the main thing I use my watch for.
A little better.
Checking and I always have a watch face with the complications because I want to see my steps and the weather and stuff like that. I always have that right there, so I don't need to, flip around for that stuff. I want to be able to quickly parse notifications and triage those, and the Pixel Watch just does that better.
yeah.
And so, I honestly a bigger size and just update the processor just so that you can stretch it out a
That
little
would
bit more.
that would be such a fun surprise for IO.
I don't know what else you would need to do
Yeah,
for
there's
this
not
watch.
much,
Like
no.
it's not like the look of it's gorgeous. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful watch. Everyone loves the way it looks. Don't change it. I've not heard anybody complaining about the hardware.
No.
Like that's not a thing. The bands are nice and you
Yeah.
got tons of people making third party bands. No problem there.
I do think if they're going to commit to wearables and continue to produce them, they might consider doing something more of the standard flat design. I love the Pebble. I love I don't know if I would like it if it was a bigger watch with the Pebble design. I don't know. I might not.
Yeah.
But
Or do like a Ultra or whatever that's that style.
do a Pixel Watch and a Pixel Watch Sport or a
Yeah,
Pixel Watch,
yeah.
something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, and I think I can't. There's just no way it's sold too well, and it
Yeah,
was
surely they're gonna
received too
iterate it,
well
yeah.
that they wouldn't already be working on a second one again. And I think multiple sizes and maybe some different stuff with Sport, Ultra, whatever. But I think they got to prove the market first. And
If anyone
I feel
from
like
the
they
PR
did
team
that.
is listening, mine's dead and they won't replace it because I didn't buy it. But
it's a review unit, so
still,
Yeah.
just saying.
I don't know what happened there. Super weird.
The battery, it will. So I can't figure out any way to charge it without it coming on. Once you put it on the charger and it gets up to like 8% or so, it turns itself on, which is fine. I don't care. But once it turns itself back on, the battery depletes within minutes, even while it's on the charger.
And you need it on long enough to do
An
factory
OTA
reset.
update, whatever. There is an iFixit video that said that there have been some watches that have had a bricked battery or something wrong with the battery, and they do so that might be my next step. If I can get a battery for it, I might try that.
What I've read, that thing is so hard to repair.
Yeah.
Like almost
It's sealed up.
unrepairable. Anywho, I didn't mean to get off on a tangent. I was going to say, what's going to...
I might break it. Oh no!
Make a video.
But yeah, I didn't want to get off on the Pixel Watch too much. I just think it's interesting that we haven't heard like anything.
Yeah.
Like nothing. Like,
Maybe they'll
That
tease
is
something
weird.
because I mean it was launched in the fall, right? So they'll tease something maybe now.
Yeah, but you would think a
I.O.
leak would
Low
be
had it on it. at I.O. last
you
year. It
would
was a
think
big
a
thing.
leak would have happened by
Something.
now. Yeah,
Just at least that they're
Just a
doing
rumor.
something.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll
Maybe
start
they'll
that.
tease something. Yeah. So
because I've been thinking about writing that anyway. That
Yeah.
it's just the silence is a little odd.
but Wear OS isn't an open source the way Android and Chrome OS is
Yeah.
either. It's there's some because it uses Android, but
I'm like, I'm
I think it'd be
like John Prosser
Yeah.
that's got a guy on the inside.
yeah. The only way it's going to get leaked is if someone gives the information. No one's going to. I don't see anyone digging up a device, but
Yeah.
we should
Yeah.
write. Where's the Pixel Watch 2?
Yeah, I had it. I've got it in my notes to write, and so it just popped in my head as we were talking about this. But I think, hey, I got the date and the note. The note is
he's
dated.
got the note.
It's dated. I can show you. But yeah, we haven't really talked about Pixel 8. I mean, there's been some leaks of the Pixel 8, obviously. You know that they're going to flatten the screen and all that kind of stuff. But no one's really talked about the fact that we'll probably see it. I would assume they'll debut it here. A lot of hardware stuff going on already of stuff they're actually releasing this time around. So last year it was all pre-release stuff. Like we're going to tease. The only thing they launched was the 6A at I.O. And this year, obviously, we're expecting the 7A. We can talk about it. But 7A, the official launch finally of the Pixel tablet. I think it's too late. But and then
Too much.
The thing I've been waiting for, and it's as much as I don't want to spend this kind of money on it, I'm probably gonna Pixel Fold. The more I read about it and the more I see it, the more I want it. I mean, it defines the handheld device that I've been wanting for many years now. I've not waited on a mobile phone like this since the Palm Pre.
Yeah.
That I've been so excited for so long for and waited. It's probably impossible that it lives up to the hype that I've created in my own brain for it, but that's okay.
So there's some leaks around the Fold. We'll talk about that in the second half here.
Not some leaks, all leaks.
Yeah, all the leaks.
It's all fallen out of the bag.
Fold 7A and tablet. What do we know on those? What are we
So I
expecting?
did see. Have you seen any Pixel tablet leaks? There's been some little ones, some press renders and stuff. I looked it up yesterday when I was trying to write that.
pricing on the base and stuff like
It's
that.
like 130,
It's
150.
not, it's not cheap. But.
I don't know that there's been. We'd have to look them up. On the tablet's weird.
Camera switch. That was the one thing. So a privacy switch on the
Yeah.
camera.
Okay.
That came out a couple weeks ago, but
I
nothing.
feel like press renders did leak because I was trying to make the point yesterday in this article I
I
wrote.
think that's where they saw the camera switch was from a press render
Oh,
leak.
okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to make the point that the 7A has leaked so thoroughly that press renders coming out was kind of met with a
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
yeah. Of course, it's the exact same thing that we've been talking about for 6 months now. You know, no surprises there. And as I was looking, somebody did write something about press renders for the Pixel tablet. It's a super weird case because it was teased a year ago now.
Yeah.
A year. Like, that's crazy. Crazy for them to leak something or not leak it. Well, it kind of, it was like Google leaking it. Because I remember
they
I.O. came and they showed it. Remember the Pogo pins got a light flash, and that's where you were like, it's got to be a dock thing. And that whole thing happened. So that was all at I.O.
Yeah.
And then at the fall hardware
They
event,
announced
they
it,
fully
yeah.
announced it and showed it off, and you saw it with the dock and exactly what they're going to do and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be powered by Tensor and da-da-da-da. And now we're in May again, and I'm like, what
And
are you all doing?
June before we're probably going to see it.
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, it's going to be a June
Yeah.
release. I think the 7A they're saying might be out like it might get launched. And
So
be
they do like a
available
week
after,
later.
2
Yeah,
weeks.
you
or
can
something.
walk into a
So
store.
late
and
May,
get
you might be able to get the 7A.
by IO, your stores will probably already have them.
Yeah, but the tablet is so perplexing. I actually wrote about this too, about the fact that with how dumb the assistant has gotten, and we've talked about this on the show.
I think
a
our
lot.
last video episode was.
Did we actually talk about this whole thing and the Pixel tablet being too late?
I think
it's
so.
just,
Pretty sure.
I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, even if we didn't, I mean, in a nutshell, it's just the Google Assistant is clearly being superseded with something. So whether Bard takes over the Assistant or the Assistant goes away completely and it's a new thing or whatever, AI is here, generative AI is here. It's a big deal. Like, it's changing the way that we interact. And instead of the Assistant just being what it is and not getting any better, it feels like somehow them taking the team off of it. Maybe they're taking servers away from it too. It's just gotten slow. Like, I mean,
Two times
yeah. This week.
Yep.
Like, hey, G, play some songs by John Mayer.
Yeah. And
Sure.
Okay, playing some songs.
Playing
by
a
John,
song list of John Mayer by John Mayer's greatest hits. Here's some John Mayer.
Right,
And
it's like, stop talking. Use that stuff to
which
go
just
think
saw
more.
the articles the other day that, and I think Michael may have written it too. The assistant is going to start talking less. Like
Shut your mouth.
we've already,
Josh.
yeah, we've
Shut
already
up,
abandoned the conversational stuff. That's not going to happen with the assistant. I don't need a 30-second long response telling me that you're doing the thing that I asked you to do.
Say, okay.
Like my children, I want you to just do it.
Don't need the explanation.
Like, I don't need it. It could either say nothing or it could just say, sure, here you go.
yeah.
I'm going to know immediately whether or not it's John Mayer playing on the radio. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, clearly it's getting dumber. And now, like, this tablet's not going to unseat anything. I mean, Samsung's been at the big tablet game for years.
Yeah.
They put out excellent tablets. They're fantastic. They're great pieces of hardware.
Yeah, of all people, OnePlus might be the company to shake up the Android
seriously.
market.
Yeah, OnePlus, I think, is doing something interesting because they're being really aggressive at the price point. But I don't remember what the prices are going to be on the Pixel tablet.
I mean, the base alone's like $150, so you're probably
They
talking
weren't super steep, but I want to say it was like starting at like $6.
I
or
was
something
gonna
like
say
$6.99.
$5.99
with
is
the
what I
base.
thought
No.
See, that's
just
the
tablet.
problem. You're spending like premium Chromebook money by the time you buy the
And I don't
base
even
and
know.
the tablet.
Do they have a keyboard thing?
No,
I haven't seen anything for it. So it's like,
no.
so now it's not a productivity thing either. And so now the base,
It's a round the home consumption
you're right.
device.
Be
It's
a
and that's
really
it.
nice speaker that has
right?
a not smart assistant in
right,
it.
and that's the whole
Almost
selling
said a
point.
bad
A year
word.
ago was cool. It was like, wow, Nest Hubs are awesome, and the Google Assistant's awesome. And now that Google's kind of abandoning it a little bit, not really a little bit, a lot, and generative AI is taking over, and we're moving in that direction clearly. Now, to be fair, if Bard shows up and replaces the assistant, and then the assistant becomes conversational and is awesome around the home, then this tablet changes. But right now, where we are, we're like, we don't know. We don't know what the end result will be of all of this shakeup. A tablet whose main ace in the hole is the Google Assistant on your desk or on your table doesn't seem great.
Nope.
Right now.
And even if it's Nest Audio, Google Home Max quality audio,
Still.
just give me a speaker. I don't need a bass that does.
I don't even know that I need it to be smart anymore. Like,
Nope.
I don't care about any of that stuff. I really just want it to have Chromecast audio on it.
I mean, I still use like, the light controls and some of the home controls at home. But to be honest with you, there are a lot of IFFT whatever apps out there that can do the same thing. I don't need.
But your phone now with Android has all the home controls
Yeah,
on it. So I
that's true.
swipe down, click it, and I've got all the stuff, and I click the button that I want.
Yep.
Why am I going to spend time trying to conversate with a dumb assistant when I can just click the button and do the thing?
Yeah.
I
I mean, I turn on my lights whenever I walk in the house if I've got my hands full.
yeah.
Hey, G, turn on the living room lights.
Like the one example in ours, like my son's room. Yeah, is the only room in the house that the fan and the light are on the same switch.
Yeah.
So sometimes if he wants his fan on, we're just like, hey, G, turn off light, because I don't carry my phone around with me at the house, you know. but used it few and far between compared to what we used to. And then even then, it's like my daughter just thinks that Google knows everything. And no offense, Google, but you don't. I had to explain to her the other day how Google's just parsing data from the internet. So if it's not available on the internet, it can't parse it. Plus, you're just assuming that it's getting the right data. And
Right.
well, Google said this. I'm like, Google's wrong, honey. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah. But I just not sure. And if you listen to that last episode, I think our conclusion there was like, who is this tablet for?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's the audience here?
I feel like they just
Hopefully they'll
missed the
explain.
window. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if they say
It's
hey,
got
we're
some
good.
other thing that we're missing that we don't know.
Is
about
Apple's
or whatever.
HomePod still a thing, or did it finally die? I feel like
I don't think
I feel like this is going to be about as successful as the HomePod.
They
Yeah.
still have the mini, the HomePod.
I think
mini.
so, yeah.
They got rid of the big one.
Or
So
what was Samsung's speaker that never came out? They announced
I
that
remember.
Yeah. Bixby
7 years ago, 6 years
Yeah.
ago.
I don't
The
know.
old Bixby.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they'll fill us in on stage and let us know a little more about
Yeah,
it.
we'd love to know.
Or they're going to just announce it and be like, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
It's like-
There's what we thought it was
Well,
going to
you
be.
knew
All
you
right.
knew it was coming. Here you go. Buy it or don't.
Yeah. So, all right, let's take a quick break for an ad, and we're going to come back and talk about some Fold leaks. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. Getting comfy over here, getting settled. We have one camera that only runs for 30 minutes, so that's why we have to take a break, if I'm being totally transparent. It's also nice just to, take a little break.
Normally I get up. Today I just chilled.
Robbie's
No, it worked out
Robbie's
perfect.
settled over
I had
there.
an impromptu meeting.
It's a lot of work to.
with
I'm too tired to get
our
up.
advertiser, one of our advertisers, and they scheduled a phone call at 11:30, when that just happened to be right when we stopped. So
Yeah, this is
Worked
like,
out
I'm
perfect.
going to go take this
Gabe was
phone
like,
call that I didn't know was happening.
I'm out.
I have a phone call that
Worked
I
out.
didn't know
Answered
about.
some questions we needed answered. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Fold, because last week we didn't podcast, and last week Front Page Tech.
Tick. Front page.
Don't meet
Tick.
that. Danny
I'm
Joe
going
come out
down,
them
I'm going down to
bum
Paradise, going down to Peabody after this, and I'm
Peabody.
already in Smoking Joe, man. I'm about ready to get out there and catch me some big old
Catfish.
bluegills.
Catfish hunter.
Bluegill fish?
Or
Mainly
whatever,
bluegill and bass.
whatever bites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bluegill and bass
Yeah.
mainly. They have a lot of trout down there,
A
but
little chilly.
they have one lake that's stocked with trout, which you can go out there and do
Nice.
like fly fishing.
I've
and
never smoked a bluegill, but I'd be willing to give it a try.
stuff. Ah, I can
Little
bring some
cold-
back. Maybe
little
that'd be
cold
fun.
smoked blue.
Bring some
Yeah.
trout.
Yeah, yeah.
Trout ain't bad.
So sorry. Front Page Tech.
There you go. Tech.
Let me stay out of Meade County
F-
Joe here for a minute.
P-T.
Yeah. Somebody who has been pretty accurate in
He has. Really accurate. I mean,
basically
Pixel
all
Watch.
of his Google leaks. I can't
Can't
attest
think
for
of
his
one.
his Apple leaks, but I
Well,
think
he
most
makes
of
an
those
Apple
are
video
pretty.
every week.
Yeah.
About the next. Well, I'm just like whatever.
Yeah. So the Google stuff, though, I mean, he's been
He's
very
got a-
spot on.
He's got a dude on the inside, and how this guy hadn't gotten caught is beyond me.
Yeah.
But
Some of his, I feel like a few of his dates have been off. I feel like there was one launch, maybe, and it was just like when the phone was going to ship was all that
Yeah,
was
but I
wrong.
mean,
It
the
was
guy's,
like,
Yeah.
the guy's batting like
yeah.
987.
Yeah,
Let him go, man.
he's
Yeah.
close to 100.
on Google
So-
stuff, yeah, he's very accurate. And
Shout out
usually
to Prosser. He's
usually
does a great job.
way ahead of the curve too. So like think Pixel Watch, he was the first one
Oh,
that
yeah.
showed it
Oh,
all.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then think about those renders, those
Oh, yeah.
early renders, and how spot on they ended up being to what and the renders that he does normally are based on, they get the thing, somebody's got it, he sees video of it, of the guy handling, they're doing a video call or whatever, and then they get specs around it, and then they build renders based on what they saw, and then the specs for the device.
Because you
So-
never know if you share a photo of an
could've
actual
been
device.
something.
It could be somebody's watch
And
that's a
he is
unique watch, or a
very-
tattoo, or
Yeah.
a weird whatever. You just
Right.
never
And they're
something
like,
in the background.
That's Jeff.
Right,
Get
exactly.
him!
And he's very, because I mean, he has even said, even if the renders are 100% accurate, we still do the renders because we never ever want to take a chance on somebody getting in trouble or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
That's too
appreciate
important to what he does.
But that being said, they've always been just spot on, and so his Pixel Fold renders. Yeah, that's right. It was before Christmas because the title of the
November.
article
Yep.
said "Christmas comes early."
Oh, yeah.
with Pixel Fold, full Pixel Fold renders. And so I want to say there was even some stuff that he had about the Pixel Fold even before that that he had shared. And there were different things that went around. Like Dave 2D got his hands on a case, a case mold. So that gave us some information. It was like piecing all these little parts together.
Don't mind me.
But then, his big video where he did the full blown, all of it, like that just came out recently. Yeah. So the first ones were just here's the renders, here's what it's going to look like. They didn't have any specs about it. They just kind of like, here's what it looks like. Those still hold true, but now he's added, like, he clearly had all the press materials and everything, like the whole shebang for this device.
All of the specs.
Yeah.
All of them.
Every small spec, everything about every camera, the processors, the price, and he was right. He said the price back in November.
Yeah.
That it was going to be $17.99. And then all these, rumors go around, and it's going to be cheaper. Nope, it's still the same. $17.99, $1,919 if you go up to the half a terabyte of storage. And this is a wild amount of money, don't get me wrong, for a phone. So if anybody wants to deride me for wanting it, I get it. I'm hoping for a carrier deal where I can at least, like the Pixel or the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold always has a thing like the trade. You can still get like an $800 trade value for these better phones. And I've got some Pixel 6 Pros and stuff like that at home. My hope is that I can use something like that to knock most of it down and then basically just pay what I would for a regular flagship phone at T-Mobile or something like that.
I mean, that's how much is the Flip? It's still like $1,200, isn't it?
12, I think.
You could get it free at one point in time.
Yeah, so I mean, there will probably be some aggressive carrier things. I hope. I don't know.
Are you going to upgrade to the new plan? Have you seen it?
I haven't even seen what it does. What is it?
So I'm considering it, but we get the Magenta Military, which is a pretty good discount. But with the new plan, you get way more tethered data, which whatever. I don't
tethered.
Care. Yeah, so you get like I can't remember how much it is,
right,
but
it's like 40 gigs of hotspot. Right?
Yeah, they're going back to the old school upgrade every year kind of thing. So that's what the new plan gets you. You get right now for a limited time, you can get a third line for free. And I think it's like free for life, which that's the one.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
Yeah, we're considering doing it because we missed out on the last one when they did it during COVID. Mm-hmm. But you get the free third line, but they're doing the upgrade every year or every 2. You get a new.
Is it way more expensive than Magenta Max?
I think the difference between what we're paying and going to the new is like $35.
Wow.
But if you're getting a whole new line and you get a new phone every year without
if I can knock a line off and be able to upgrade with ease every year.
Yeah, because the Jump is great, but the Jump, you still have to use Jump, you still have to pay 50% of the phone off. And then you're always tied to that contract.
Yeah.
So.
But you, if you're Robbie there for a while, they were like, this guy's the one guy that is like really taking advantage of Jump. Yeah. Most people don't.
Well, this is how you get banned from places like Best Buy and stuff.
And the cool thing about like T-Mobile is they're just like, hey, at some point I have so many monthly credits now because I'll pay off a phone and trade it in. And those once they give you that credit and they give you the phone, whatever you do with that post they don't care.
Still have it. Yeah.
If I pay the phone, if I paid off so my ESN is clear, and then go sell it on Swappa or something.
It's nobody's business.
They don't care. They're still going to give me 24 months of the $13, $15, $20 credit that I was getting on my bill. Yep. So I have so many of those credits. Well, that counts towards a total. Like they're not going to go over that at some point. So the last time I went in to upgrade, they're like, yeah, you've got too many bill credits on here. Like you've got to just fully pay something off that's not a bill credit. So I did have to pay like a Pixel 6 off or something for a couple $100.
T-Mobile's like, we owe you $700 a month, and we're tired of it. Okay.
Yeah. So
we're actually writing you a check to use our service.
They're sitting there like the game.
Bob, how did this happen? Man's got 17 phones, and we owe him money. I don't get it.
This doesn't seem right.
You started this.
So yeah, I'll do whatever I got to do, and that's if I got to pay outright for it.
Yeah,
I will because for the first time, this is one of those phones that like I don't see myself moving away from for a while. I mean, I've been with the Ultra since I got it, and I haven't even thought about trading. Like, there's part of me that's like, I kind of miss some of the Pixel stuff, but not enough to bother even resetting my phone. Like I've just kind of gotten to the point where like we're at peak smartphone. I just don't care that much anymore.
And that's
but
I'm
fold,
yeah,
that's a whole different thing.
I'm excited because I never jumped on the Samsung bandwagon. I used to be kind of like, folding phones, whatever. It's you kids, it's a passing phase. Nobody cares. But I get it, and I see the advantage, but I never jumped on with Samsung. And I'm like, I'm excited because I want my first foldable phone to be the Pixel.
Yeah.
Because of the aspect ratio, and it's going to be thinner than the Fold, right?
Yeah, it will be. It will launch.
That's what I'm most excited about, the thinness of it.
Yeah, like I want to say it's one of the thinner ones that we've seen. It's somewhere in the realm of
Isn't that
if
Oppo
Prosser
pretty-
said, see, in the U.S. I would say in the U.S. I want to say his leak and other leaks too have shown it to be 5.4 millimeters when open.
Right.
And I want to say that's almost exactly what the Surface Duo. Did you ever handle that one?
I
The original
held
Duo.
it.
I remember that one. That was the one that I put in my pocket, and
So
I was like, I
that's
could do this.
folded.
That's always been my big
You're
turnoff.
talking
So when you
Pixel Book?
fold it, no, not even that
Yeah.
thick. So your phone, like if I pull my phone out right now, this case on my phone is 11.5 millimeters
So
thick.
thinner than that.
It will be that thick, closed up.
Jeez.
Like when I close it up, the Pixel Fold will be that
With
thick.
the-
Now,
with
granted,
the-
there'll be a camera hump,
Yeah, and
but it will be
you'll-
smaller than this and as thin as this, and probably weigh about as much as this.
Yeah.
So if I'm okay with this in my pocket, the Fold
have
totally
a
okay.
have a case. Carrying around a phone that expensive, I'm gonna have a
Yeah,
case
you gotta-
on each side.
you gotta
Are you
have a
gonna use,
little
are you gonna use one of your old phones for when you're playing golf?
I don't know.
No.
I might just
Okay.
roll with it.
I mean,
why
technically
not?
you could just Pixel watch it. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, out on the with disc golf especially, my phone stays in my bag. I use the app on my watch, but that's been my biggest turnoff. But when you had the Samsung, what was that? Fold
I had
2?
the 3.
Fold
I
3.
I got the one like used a
Yeah.
year and a half after. That front screen was so
Yeah.
dumb, and I immediately got rid of it. But I held on to the Z Fold 3 my full 2 weeks, whatever the return window is, and was still back and forth about whether I was going to return it or not. But it was that outside screen. I've said this so many times, I don't even
Yeah.
remember. But the outside screen ratio. You're going to use the outside screen if you're thinking about getting a folding phone. Just trust me, please realize that you're going to use the outside screen maybe more than half
I would
of
say
the time.
75-80% of the time. You're
Even
just
if you don't
quick-
want to. And
Right.
when you first get it, you'll be like, no, I'll open it every time. You will.
No, you're
Within the
not.
first 2 or 3 days, you will start using the outside display and realize that that's what you got to go to for the mundane stuff. You're going to use it. And for a phone not to have a good aspect ratio there,
Yeah.
it's so frustrating. And that tall, ridiculous outer screen on
It
the Z
was-
Fold is terrible.
It was almost
I hate it so
unusable.
much.
Like
And I've talked to people that have it and have kept it. Like
Just
my
get used to
brother-in-law and his wife, they've had them for a long time. I'm like, how do you get used to that? And they're just like, I don't know. I just kind of got used to it because I like the inner screen so much. And I'm like,
Right.
I do
Yeah.
get it because that is a huge draw. Like,
Absolutely.
I loved having a basically an iPad mini in my pocket at all times. I loved it for so many things, but I just couldn't get past the outer display. And
Yeah.
Samsung's software was just I think that was One UI like 3. They're on 5 now. Like One UI is pretty good. It's not
Yeah.
in your face anymore. I still like Google's take on Android better, but it's not egregious anymore. So it's like that wasn't the problem. It really wasn't. It wasn't Samsung's software as much. It was just that outer screen. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
And if the Z Fold 5 came out and they were like, "Hey, we fixed it. It's a a regular phone aspect ratio, and it doesn't fold flat either. So the Z Fold kind of folds
Little-
kind of like a wedge.
Yeah.
It's very slight, but it's still a wedge. The Pixel Fold will fold completely flat with because it's got a hinge that basically pulls the excess of the screen down into
back
the hinge,
into it. Yep.
like you see with
I
the
just-
Oppo. And
The only
so
thing that
many.
makes me nervous about all of that is that it's the first iteration.
Oh, I know.
Like the Pixel Watch. Pixel Watch is great. The few people that have had problems like myself, the problems kind of stink.
Yeah.
I mean, you bork the device, whatever. Google, and we've said this a million times with the Pixel Book and the watch and everything else, Google needs to figure out how to support their devices.
There needs to be premium support for this
They need
device.
premium support, and
Like,
it
you
can't
get a
be
dedicated line chat.
Yep, because I've seen people with the Pixel Watch who have been stuck in boot loops, or they can't get them to boot, or whatever, and Google has flat out told them, we're not replacing your watch, and it's less than a year old, and that's not okay.
No.
I spend $2,000 on a phone, and something goes wrong with
Yeah.
it within the warranty period. I said this about Samsung the other day. They would not refund or replace a Galaxy Chromebook that we bought that was only 4 months old. There's zero excuse for a multi-billion-dollar company to do that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And
I just got real mad. My ears
well,
are turning
it's
red.
heated.
frustrating. And honestly, like straight up, it's one of the reasons why Apple has seen so much success. Like early on, they decided they're going to be one of those companies that just made it right.
If you buy our
you're going to
product,
pay for it, but we're going to make it
But
right.
if it doesn't work, we're going to make it right. And there's a person you can come in and look at and talk to. It's okay. We'll fix it. And
there's a certain comfort in that too, of like being able to go in.
if you're going to spend the money
For
and
it-
know that you got a place to go, so
Yep.
you can look somebody in the eye and you can talk to them.
Sometimes it's hard to explain. Well, yeah, it's doing that, but yeah, the screen's like doing this thing. Like, I can't explain it to you.
And
Yeah.
it's very frustrating, like when you get into a chat with someone and they start
Have you
taking
tried
you through
this?
the troubleshooting.
Have you tried
and
this?
just like,
Oh my gosh.
it's the worst. And so, yeah, Google's not done very well with this in the past. And the thing is, I don't know that they really think they're going to sell a ton of these phones. I can't imagine they're
Yeah, I don't think
projecting
so.
themselves to sell
Nope.
millions of units. And so that's my only reason. I'm like, they might not change, but they need to. Like when the Z Fold first came out, I don't know that they do this anymore. But I remember Samsung rolled out this like white glove service
yeah.
for it.
Yeah, right.
That came only with that phone because they knew, like, you're spending extra money, we're giving you extra support. HP has done it with the Dragonfly Pro. Like, there is specialized support for that. Google needs to do that with this phone.
They've cut back with hires and they fired a bunch of people, laid off, whatever. Partner with. There's nothing wrong with the you break, I fix places. That's fine. But partner with the 7,000 Best Buy stores that are out
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And don't do Geek Squad. Don't do that. Employ a handful of people who that's their only job. Like they are dedicated
In
to
bigger
phone
cities,
stuff
maybe.
or computers or whatever. And they are trained to support your Pixel Fold. And if they can't fix it, then they send it out Google and
See, I
Google
can't.
replaces
I
it.
don't think they're going to hire. They
I
won't
don't think
hire
they will
people
either, but-
just for this phone.
No.
If it was for Pixel phones in general, I could see that. Like if they
Well, they
decided,
need,
hey,
to,
with-
they need to do that too. But
and I think that's what they need to do. Like, let this phone be the reason now that you build an entire team around true, like, dedicated support.
Just
for
do
it.
one of those little kiosks in the middle of the mall like Microsoft used to do. Y'all remember those?
Those worked out so
You
well.
remember the Oxmoor Mall when
Yep.
you walked out of Dick's and there was the random
the Microsoft
kiosk?
stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the store.
One poor dude and
Yep.
they're working all day by himself.
So weird.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
weird.
So, was there anything in Prosser's leak that really stuck out to you all that we didn't know that was something new?
Not really. I mean, the price, being able to know the
I feel like
price,
like knowing price for sure. Well, I mean,
knowing.
we
I
don't
think
know
they're-
for sure,
they're-
but we know.
I think he said 12 gigs of RAM is the standard.
Yeah,
So 12,256,
that's perfect.
perfect. There's no need to
I
go up to that
I
other
don't
one.
need half
The
a
cameras look like they're going to be great. They're not going to be anything that's going to supersede what we have, but they're going to be on par. I like the fact that, people have talked a little bit about the bezels on it. And I'm like, trust me, on a tablet-sized device, you need bezels.
You need
to hold
somewhere
it.
to hold it.
Is it hole punch or underscreen camera?
There's a bezel at the top that holds.
Oh,
all
it's
that
in the
stuff,
bezel. Okay,
which
gotcha.
I'm just like, that's fine.
That's
on a
to-
bigger
I
screen
don't care
device,
about that. Yeah,
Put all that stuff in a small
that's
bezel.
like
and-
people that complain about bezels, like surround bezels on a laptop when they're just normal bezels. Like it'd be different if it looks like an EDU device and it's got like a
Right.
candy bar on the side of it. But I'm
Right.
like,
When
it's got bezels. It's a touch
half-inch
screen
bezel. Like,
Yeah.
who cares? Like, it's nice. I'm looking over at our, MacBook Pro that's
Garbage.
over there, and it's got the goofy looking notch in there, but around the corners and stuff, it does look cool. But it's also not a touchscreen. It's not a convertible. It's not meant to
Right.
be picked up and used that way, so they can do that and not worry about it.
Yeah.
That would be a nightmare to pick that thing up if it.
Oh, yeah.
That was a convertible. It would be unusable because you couldn't hold it. So, and you can see this in iPads. Even the big iPad has
Yeah.
a half-inch.
Got to be able to grab it. Yep.
You gotta have a spot for your hands to go.
Pixel
Like,
tablet's gonna have chunky bezels.
yeah,
I mean,
and so it's just like, people get fired up about the dumbest things sometimes. So, all that stuff will be hidden in there, and I think it's just gonna be well done. Like, I like the look of it. I think the aesthetic looks great. The thinness of it, the from what we've seen, there was another video that came out that was just someone handling it and opening it, and that was it. That came out right before Prosser stuff did. Kuba Cuba. I can't pronounce.
Wojciechowski.
I can't pronounce his
Yeah.
name. But on Twitter.
It always reminds me of Woz.
Yeah.
From,
Yeah.
And you know there wasn't much to it, you know, and they blurred out the screen, but you could see the crease. So every foldable is always going to have a crease, but instead of it being this really thin kind of hard crease,
spreads out.
it was a thick, slight depression. Basically, is what it looks more like, because of when it closes, it doesn't close this way. It closes like in a teardrop shape that pulls down into the hinge, and so I really like that. I don't know. There's honestly, at this point, other than the price just being like, oh, man, it's so expensive, but I knew it was going to be expensive. There's nothing else giving me pause about this device at all. And I like the fact they've got selfie cams on both, inner and outer. So I think he leaked one of the marketing things is it'll have where you can turn it around basically and use the main back cameras with the front facing display as a selfie cam if you want. So you can take really, really good looking selfies, or, you know, vlog type stuff if you're adventurous enough to hold that phone, you know, out.
You better believe we're going to make some golf content with that bad boy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to buy it and not use it.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, and it's like, that's a little scary.
If we go play golf, I'll take it out on the course. Like,
you know, you just got to have it. And, I put it in a case and hope for the best.
Yeah.
You know, and if it breaks, it's going to be a real bad day.
Right.
But we have other phones around.
Yeah,
and,
some of these
move on.
Some of these more affordable insurance plans you can get out there. I feel like
I'm probably going to take out some.
I feel like it might be worth it. If you've got a phone that's over $1,500, I feel like it's worth it to maybe get a little.
When it's like a $700 or $800 phone, I'm like, after I pay for this for 6 months, I'm out money now. I could have just paid for the phone
T-Mo, are they requiring their insurance if you finance a phone? I can't remember. No,
not right now. Theirs just got expensive.
Well, that's what we had it for a while, and then we got rid of it when we paid off our last phone, because it was like
that's more than I'm paying for the phone.
Yeah, Aiko's $20-something a month for one phone and like 20 other non-phone devices. Like, you guys, T-Mobile's gonna have to come down because they're through Assurant, I think. And I'm like,
but I'll have some sort of coverage on this one.
Yeah, I think it's worth it. I know there were a few other details about camera specs that he shared.
Yeah, I
can't remember them off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but they're premium cameras.
Yeah, they're not wildly
cameras.
different than what we're seeing already. So I mean, as long as the hardware is decent enough on Pixel phones, you get all the Pixel software. So camera hardware doesn't concern me too much. You're still getting. I want to say it's a 3x tele or 4x. I think it was look back there. Whatever. You're getting a telephoto, ultra wide, and standard wide angle lens. And I want to say the front, the selfie cams are 13 megapixels, I think. So I mean, again, there won't be any deficiencies in this phone, which is cool.
Do you?
It's Tensor G2, 12 gigs of RAM, so it's going to be outfitted. It's going to be fast.
Have there been? Have we seen any early leaks of the 8? Pixel?
Yeah, there's been some.
Yeah,
there's
some screen
the
stuff.
screen looks like it's going to be flat.
Yeah.
They're going to flatten the screen.
The back, do you think they'll take the visor approach that is on the Fold and get away from this visor that goes all the way across?
No, the 8 looks like the rest of them.
Yeah, it looks like,
I think the reason you probably couldn't do that with the Fold is because of the hinge mechanism.
Yeah, because it's going to come back around
the hinge
it. Yeah,
has to intrudes basically on the back.
I think it would look dope on a regular flagship too.
I do too. It'd be cool if that's what they adopted, but from the looks of it, no, it looks a lot like the 7. I can't remember what there was a key change that they. I want to say so. The 7 has a pill shape cutout for the camera. I want to say that maybe it's
individual cameras. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You would think that we don't have any way of looking this up.
Yeah,
let's just look at the web here. Pixel.
If only we
8
knew.
Leak.
We'll link it.
Boom. Oh, that's what it is. So I don't have the Pixel.
You can grab mine down there, or Gabe's.
He's got the 6 in his hand.
Oh, well, there's the 7.
So yeah, the 8 is one big pill glass cutout for the cameras and all metal.
Right. Yeah.
Versus the 7 has individual cutouts.
Yep.
Not much different, but a flat screen on the front. So I'm pro flat screen.
I think
most people are.
Yeah, I think that is a great move. This this phone, I haven't had any of the accidental
No.
side touches or nothing like that. But just from being able to throw on a screen protector, I just don't get a ton of value or
I
like
get
added
0.
benefit.
And the same thing with the Ultra, like
Of having the rounded
They
screen.
trim the rounded screen, and by the time you put a case on, that kind
It
of
looks like your phone looking over here looks flat.
You can see a little bit of the curve. I'm like, it's pointless. Get
Stuff
rid
just
of it.
gets stuck in there.
Yeah, and it's
and
just,
it's exposed. And
it's
if
a little bit of my screen I'm losing on both sides for no good reason.
Yeah.
Oh well, now you're going to see a bezel.
who cares?
Shucks. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, come on,
Who
get over it.
cares?
It's just dumb.
Yeah.
But I don't really care because I really do feel like, and maybe unless there's something wrong with the phone,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a foldable guy.
Yeah, I'm very
June.
excited for this one. I think
June,
the size
late June
is good.
is what
Yeah.
Prosser
Yep.
said. I feel like his dates are probably right.
Yeah.
Late June release, like June 27th, I think, or something. Pre-orders will go live, I think, right after I/O.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I'm going to a Braves game on the 28th, so I'll take it with me.
Yeah. I think they fixed the outside screen, nice thin, fold that gets rid of the notch when it
Yeah.
folds up. Like those two things alone are going to make
annoying.
this an
those
awesome,
those are annoyances.
awesome fold.
And it's thin too, so it like closed up. It's not going to feel like, 'cause to me, like the Z Fold always felt like I felt like I
like
was
a
putting a
brick.
bar of gold in my
Yeah.
pocket.
And in my pocket, it was not. I mean,
You know
I
what
remember.
happens when you carry around your bars of gold.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I've got
Weighs your
I've got
pants
a
down.
few.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I've been carrying around.
Yeah, but that's
So,
I don't know. It just always had a weird feel to it versus a standard phone, and that'll go away. Yeah, I can't see any downsides. So as long as it can, and it's been in development so long, I feel like they can probably get around most of these things, because it's not like, oh, they're the first ones coming out with a folding display. Nope. Like tons of other companies have done it. They're using Samsung stuff, which is proven track record.
Yep.
Hinge wise, there's so much out there already that they could draw from. They've probably redone the hinge God knows how many times in the long period of time they've been working on it. So
Half
I'm
the
like,
presentation is going to be about the hinge, just like all
Probably.
these folding.
Yeah.
Samsung did it
Which
when
is
they
fine.
had the little sweeping hinge. That
Yeah, those things are important, because that's a big piece of this. Like the screen and the hinge are huge here,
Mm-hmm.
and they need to not fail. And so as long as they get around those things, Google's been making phones now for quite a few years. Cameras, outer screens, speakers, power button. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
As long as there's no huge failure here, this will be my phone
Fingerprint
for a while.
Fingerprint scanner in the power button.
in the power button. is
Love
what-
that.
Yes, I do too.
Love that.
Yes.
Get rid of the on-screen
just-
crap. Like capacitive
Yep.
fingerprint scanners are so good, so
Boom.
fast.
It either face unlocks or I've got that done.
Yeah, I was so excited about the underscreen when OnePlus first did it, and I am so to the point where I'm like,
I'm over it.
I just want it in the button. That's
Yeah.
all I
Yep.
want.
Yeah, and every phone's got a power button. So
Yeah. You grab your phone, right there.
I mean, we do this all the time.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
easy peasy.
understand this.
Or watch your mouth. They're going to put the power button in the screen.
There you go. No buttons.
No buttons.
Zero button phone.
The zero
Worst.
buttons.
Um,
If something happens, you have to reset it. Sorry.
and before we get off the I/O stuff, 7A leaked
Yeah.
in totality as well. Nothing
Everything
surprising.
was
Like
expected.
the other A series.
The questionable thing, and we've talked about this before, will be
Just pricing,
price.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
going to be $499 from what the leaks say, and that makes it
Puts
weird.
it in a weird spot.
It makes it so weird.
Puts it in a weird spot.
And it has all the stuff that the 7 has.
That's the thing. The Pixel 7's sitting there going, guys.
Hello. So it's a little smaller than the 7's, what, 6.4 inches?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
right.
that sounds
This is
right. I don't know.
6.1, so it's a little
Yeah.
smaller. But I think that for your lower end, I say lower end, it's not really lower end in many ways at all.
Not really, no.
A lot of people want a good smaller phone. Like they want that size. That's kind of what the Pixel Fold will be when it's closed. They're after that, and I don't blame them. Like being out and about, sometimes having a little bit smaller of a phone for all the quick tasks and stuff is a little nicer, if I'm being honest. It does that. It's got wireless charging, 15-watt wireless charging. It's got 8 gigs of RAM. It's got 128 gigs of storage. It's got the same cameras. They're different cameras, but they're going to be good cameras again.
Yep.
And again, as long as the hardware is decent on a Pixel.
No one's ever
it's
looked at
fine.
the A series and went, "Oh man, the cameras, man, they just
Yeah.
that's
it's
the
Google's-
one of the redeeming qualities." But now you've got that, and
Tensor G2. That'll
There's
power
nothing
it.
really
it'll get
negative
all
about this
it's,
phone.
It's like you're not going to get it and be like, "Oh, I wish I could do that one cool thing that the Pixel 7 can do." It'll do all the camera tricks.
Yep.
So it's like, So what is the thing here? Especially the Pixel 7's on sale all the time. So
Right.
I'm confused as to which one becomes the one you tell people to go get. Like
We've talked about this. Like maybe they'll just give this one away for free
Does it have a headphone
in
jack?
carriers and stuff.
No, I don't think they did a headphone jack this year.
Like maybe that's the selling point.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's just-
but it leaked. It was a shoulder shrug. It's like, yeah, I mean,
It's gonna be the first phone with Bard.
yeah.
The Bard
So it's
phone.
gonna be
The Bard
plastic.
phone.
That's the other question: is the back plastic? Because usually the
Probably.
back A's are all plastic.
It'll be
and I'm
like that coated whatever.
And if they haven't been bad, don't get me wrong, not at all. But if it's a plastic back versus a glass one, and maybe not. Can they do? I mean, wireless charging obviously can go through plastic, but with the heat,
Typically,
could it be
they
a
don't.
problem? They
Typically,
don't.
they
Almost
don't do
always
it,
glass.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they need that. You need
That's
it.
weird. Yeah.
So they might, if it's glass back, I'm like,
Yeah, then
it's a 90 hertz screen.
Yeah,
What are
it's
we
very
doing here?
confusing.
Didn't you just? Is it a Pixel 7? It looks like a small Pixel 7 is what's happening, and so I'm like, really confusing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be interested to hear them pitch it. I
Yeah.
want to hear them
Yeah.
launch it, hear what they
Yeah.
say. about it.
What is it about?
It's kind of
this
like the
phone?
Pixel tablet. It's the same thing. It's like I want to hear how you're going to position this in
We-
the market. I'm very interested.
Yeah, we've done. Speaking of just launch day, we've done some stuff like on Twitter before. We'll kind of post on Twitter. We'll still do some of that, but I think this year we should make sure that all of us are plugged in on the Discord,
Oh, yeah.
and
We'll
be
definitely
really
be
kind
on
of sharing
Discord.
in our Discord. If you want access.
Yeah, because I some of the guys was like, let's do a watch party. I'm like,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like everybody that's in the Discord, we'll be in there. We'll have it pulled up and
Yeah.
be sharing just thoughts and
Yep.
what's
I
going
mean,
on.
that was one of our first back in the day with Spaces. We did an
Spaces.
Oh, yeah,
IO watch
absolutely.
party in Spaces with
So-
some of our Chromie chat guys.
Patreon.com/Chrome Unbox. Go check it out. Get access to the Discord and some other cool stuff. But yeah, I think that would be really fun. What did we do that launch night in when
Oh,
Google
yeah.
did that during COVID? That was strange.
It was like socks.
That whole
and,
thing was
yeah.
bizarre.
That was
Because there
strange.
was that, and the phone that got launched was the 5A,
Yeah.
the Pixel 5.
Pixel 5.
Which was tiny and underpowered and super. Like it was
It was
we
the
don't
one
have-
in between.
We don't have Tensor ready yet, so
it was
we
the
don't
in
know what
between
to
phone
do.
that they were
Take
like, we
this.
don't know what to do with this. 100%.
And people really ended up liking that phone
Yep.
a lot, but
Yep.
it was small.
It was.
And I'm saying like that.
So
That's
that
I
could
think,
be a thing
The thing
with-
where people might, if the 7A has everything the 7 has, but it's just a smaller form factor, and
And they just
it's a new one,
and they
it-
discount it through carriers. You can go
It's
get
just like-
one easy. Like
that becomes. And I feel
Yeah.
like when the 7A comes out, the Pixel 7 will probably not get made anymore. Would be my guess.
Yeah,
That's the only
probably not,
way I
yeah.
think this works.
yeah.
I don't think both of these phones exist.
You have a
Nope.
folding phone. You have a premium.
You have a Pro and
Yeah,
a standard
flagship, and
Yep.
then
Yep.
Now, if
'Cause
they go the A or SE route and they go like really dumbed down again, then that does make sense.
makes sense.
But if they're going to keep their A series right where it's at
Yeah.
with this phone,
Well,
it
that,
makes no
that
sense.
leaked
at all.
roadmap says that this was pre a lot of things. This is 6-8 months ago, but that roadmap, Pixel roadmap, leaked out, and after this, it looks like they might go every 2 years with an A series phone. And
would
then they're
make
going to
sense.
change up the way they do their phones. So like a standard, like a Max, and then a Ultra, kind of the way Samsung and
Yeah.
Apple both do their
Yep.
phones when
Yep.
they launch. These are your phones, and every once in a while we're going to drop one.
some other
that-
little random one, but yeah.
So like next one that comes out, so say we get Tensor G3, and then next year comes around, we don't get an 8A.
Yeah.
Won't happen, which that would be nice because 8A is terrible to say. 8A.
We're getting an 8A.
I like it.
And then say the 9A comes
Yeah.
out. If they stick with that naming, they could use like Tensor G3 as they're launching Tensor G or
Yeah.
whatever, G2 or whatever. You know, they can let themselves use a processor that's still great.
Yeah.
But maybe it's one generation back instead of like if the 7A launched and it was cheaper and it had the regular Tensor in it, that would make, I don't know, it'd make more sense in the market they have right now. But at least you look at the library of stuff they've got. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, that's
that
where it
makes
fits
sense.
in. Right now, it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. You've got
And maybe
two
this
phones
is
that are
like the
basically
start
the
of
same
that,
phone.
yeah.
I think it is. I think
that makes sense.
The 7A is the beginning of the new
yeah.
roadmap
Yeah.
that they'll start.
Makes
I don't
sense.
know that the 8 will do that either, but I don't know.
We'll know more next week.
They're still figuring it
Yeah.
out too, I think.
Yeah, and that's okay. But yeah, we'll know more next week. And if if you'd like, definitely join us in our Patreon and join us over on Discord for
It's $2. Try it for a month.
Yeah, try it for the month. Join us. That would be fun to
great
just
people
hang
in
out
there.
and have a conversation that day with everybody and watch it kind of together, which would be nice. And then otherwise, I mean, the website, obviously, chromeandbox.com will be covering everything that gets announced. So definitely stay tuned there as well. But I think that's it for this week. We appreciate you all tuning in and watching and listening. If you are watching over on YouTube, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Go in there and click subscribe and click the notification bell so that you get an alert when we put out other episodes like this one. And we've talked about doing more of the trending episodes. So we'll do some of those as well. All right. We'll catch you all in the next one. See you.